Jeff Cat here, internationally acclaimed FireWire expert, here to answer your FireWire questions. I have an email today from a viewer named Scotty, and Scotty has a simple question. How do I know if I have FireWire 400 or FireWire 800 on my computer? Well, Scotty, at first I thought this is an easy question to answer. If you have an iMac or an iMac Pro, you have FireWire 800. Anything else, Windows-based, except for maybe Alienware, only has FireWire 400, no 800. But then I started thinking, with the release of Win 7, FireWire 800 will be available for Windows users. Now it's time for us to do a little tutorial on FireWire 800. It's not always easy to tell if you have FireWire 800 in your device or simply FireWire 400. They both use the same FireWire logo, and there is no standard logo to indicate FireWire 800. So here's a tip for what to look for. Here's the standard 6-pin connector used by Apple and on many Wintel desktops. Notice it's rectangular and rounded on one end. Here's the 4-pin connector used on Wintel notebooks and camcorders. It's much smaller and almost square. It's also harder to plug in without looking, wears out faster, and tends to fall out at very inconvenient times, but that's another video. These both indicate you have a FireWire 400 device, except in very old products where they may be FireWire 100, but most of you don't need to worry about that. Here's what to look for to see if you have FireWire 800 in your device. It's about the same size as a 6-pin connector. It's called a 9-pin connector, by the way, in the industry, and it's almost square. It looks like a little box inside a box. As another point of reference, it's almost the same size as the Ethernet connector, which is just to the right of it in this photograph. Well, Scotty, I hope that gives you enough information to determine whether or not you have FireWire 400 or FireWire 800 in your device. And I also hope you'll make the jump soon, because FireWire 800 has a lot more advantages to it than simply speed. Well, I think we have time for one more quick letter. This one comes from a viewer named Miles, and Miles says he went to Best Buy the other day to buy a 6 to 4-pin cable, but all they had were 4 to 6-pin, and the sales clerk assured him they were not the same thing. Miles, come to me for your FireWire information, and go back to the store and get whatever 4-pin, 6-pin, 6-pin, 4-pin they have. It'll work fine for you. Well, this is Jeff Cat, wishing you the best of luck in all your FireWire endeavors. Hey, what do you do with FireWire? Drop me an email, and of course, feel free to send me any questions.